I'm going to give you a garden tour of my backyard. It's a raw tour, of course, but it's been extremely hot, 90s and above, and these are my zucchini and squash. I don't really have anything growing in there yet. This is a pepper, a green pepper that has a flower, but it needs a lot. I have to water. But first of all, I just wanted to start off and tell you about my raised bed. This raised bed I worked on. My sister helped me lay out the design for it. It's cinder block. It's not attached or anything like that. I have, you'll see the black liner. That's just pond liner. And basically every day after work in April, a couple of years back, I laid it out, cinder block by cinder block. It's shaped like an I or shaped like an H. And basically, I have a lot of compost, good soil in there. So here's my cucumbers, and I just have it up on a trellis here. And when it grows a little further out, I just lift this up and I can expand this here, and it'll give it more opportunity to grow and the fruit, the cucumber to hang. And I just pick them up and, weave them through so they grow down and all. And what?
That would be on me.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is a columnar tree that died. Here's one that is alive. So I had them in containers, and I'm gonna pot this with something else to replace. And they're apples. The heat has been hard on the vegetables. I really needed to get some shade cloth. As you can see on the top, these tomatoes haven't really done well. And the other tomatoes are starting to kick back. But we've had about a month of high heat. I live in Georgia, zone 7B, and, make the most of it. I'm going to show you back here, and I just have some pollinator plants. I have zinnias and some that are all spent now. This is an eggplant here, Black Beauty. I have some basil growing. And this is chives. Back here, guys, I am growing grapes. And in the fall, now these are really needed, I need to do a lot more work. But basically in the fall, I did cuttings from the grapevine and stuck them in here with some root hormone, and they are growing nicely. So I may just give them to some of my friends that want to grow grapes, but I have a lot of work to do. This is like a work in progress always. And I don't know what happened here, but my aromas, this is what happened in the high heat. I got a lot of flowers and everything, but when it's high heat above 85, the tomatoes really don't grow. So I've got some growing in here and all, but it's going to take time for it to kick back. The good thing about my growing season is I can also start now by seed or by taking a clipping off of my plant already. And let me just see. Well, this may not be a great example, but just to give you an example, I can root this and it'll grow another tomato plant, and I can put that in the ground, and that'll give me a head start. Okay, over here is some turmeric that I'm growing, and I don't know if you could see it underneath, but it's turmeric or turmeric, whichever way you say it. Ooh, it smells good. And I have some over here that I'm growing too. So I pretty much will juice my turmeric, or I put it in a powder form as far as dehydrating it. This is my grapevine, and I have organza bags on these. Some people just throw a big thing of netting over it, and to protect the grapes. And I pretty much like to just put a bag over it, and that just protects them individually. And you know, I'm learning as I go. So when they're ready in harvest, I leave some, of course, for the birds so they can get some. And I like to share, so I get some and they get some. There's some more up here that are free for them to get. So this is my whole grapevine. And my
Over
sister
here
helped
is
me.
my blueberries. I only covered 2. We had a late spring frost in my zone, so I lost, or I didn't get a good development of the flowers and everything. So some of them I just let the birds get to. Here is a late blooming, oh Lord, I don't know if it's a Brightwell. I have them all tagged, but I have the netting on, so I can't really get to it. But they're starting to turn into healthy blueberries. So I'm going to hopefully get a good harvest from here. And that'll be my blueberry muffins, my blueberry pancakes. Put them in my smoothies. And this is just a back view of the hill. Here is, I believe this is a Leland cypress. Gets like a monstrous big, and it creates a lot of shade. I think these trees really need to be on those big houses that are estates and not a regular subdivision, but that's just my opinion. So I chop it down and try to create more room. I want to put more shade vegetables here. I'm going to have to pull up this blueberry in the fall when it goes dormant, just to give it more room and more sunlight. I think I'm going to have this hill eventually being a berry patch, just with berries, blackberries, raspberries, because I have some fruit trees, but you're supposed to have 2 fruit trees for pollination, and I've lost one of every tree that I've had, and I can, you know, plant another one, but it's going to take a while to catch up. So I have to make a decision, because trying to find where the fruit is, yeah. Pretty much everyone has died, every other. So these are my pears. This is a plum, but I only have one. This is a Granny Smith that I have to aggressively work on because it has had a lot of damage to it with the heat, and also I didn't spray at all. So I'm learning about my fruit trees as I go. And let me see, sorry to get you dizzy. This is my beautiful peach, Alberta, but it got hit with the frost, so I didn't get any peaches. And plus, I don't have my other peach tree, which I had to chop down because it died. And I got to do major pruning on my peach tree. So I have some decisions to make. This is comfrey in a container that I'm going to plant. I want to put that all around my fruit trees and everything, so that can help put nitrogen in the soil and makes a great tea, as well as has medicinal purposes. And when I say tea, a compost tea, I haven't done research on drinking the comfrey as a tea, but that's just my limited knowledge. But it's a cool thing to research. These are my blackberries, which I'm gonna put on a trellis eventually. Got hit hard with frost, and these are goji berries, which I need to fertilize, and they will flower, and then they will have the goji berries growing. And these are 2 pomegranate that I have, and I gotta put them all on this hill. Here are my containers that I have, and I pretty much have peppers in here, and I have my beans, bush beans in here. So I don't have any beans yet, but they're coming along. And it's so cool to grow in containers. Sorry. And down below are my sweet potatoes that I have growing. Oh, God, almost got knocked out with a pear. These are potatoes that I kind of forgot about, so I have to harvest those, or else I'll be growing another set of potatoes in here. These are my sweet potatoes that I have growing, and they're a little bitten up by the bugs, and I got a volunteer potato right here. From last year, I usually put my sweet potatoes in after I've planted my regular potatoes. They're in 2 different families, but they do well. Sorry, that was a bug. I hate mosquitoes. This is my upright elephant ears that will get very, very tall. This is sky pencil. These are zinnia double perfusion yellow. I got them from a local nursery. I want to give you all a tour one day of the nursery. It is amazing. And these are vincas and my cone flowers. I cut them down to help more cone flowers bloom. And I got my black eye Susans in the back. Here's some more of the upright elephant ears, and then in the background is my canna and my, I forget the name of those. I'm gonna put it in there because I'm just drawing a blank. This is a poorly planted corabelle in the wrong spot. It needs more shade, so I'm gonna have to move it right here. And I gotta clean out my bird bath. We had a lot of rain, which I'm grateful for. And here's some pots. And this is my crazy, crazy collection. And this is my moringa that I grew from seed. I'm so excited. Got a lot of work to do. And this is my actual workbench, my little workstation back here that is junky It only gets cleaned up for a little bit when I have company, so we can sit on the porch. And this is my ginger. It's got a little sun kiss from the afternoon sun. I got little babies down below, and I got some lettuce to munch on. And this is my containers and all of that where I mix my soil.